Yo, what's good, YouTube? ZAMCRO here, aka Scoot, back with the NNDL Nation Draft League, and we have our Season 3, Week number 10 match. So it's been a while since I've drafted NNDL Nation Draft League. We have had a lot going on in March and April, and just fell behind quite a bit, but we're going to try to catch up. We've got Week 10, 11, 12, and 13 to upload before potential playoffs. It's unknown whether or not I will be into playoffs yet. Because I know my record after 13 weeks. You guys do not yet, but we'll get into that. So, for Week 10, we're facing off against Predator and his Dallas Deoxys, where he's got Mega Metacham, Zapdos, Tangrowth, Hydreigon, Jellicent, Salazzle, Steelix, the Sharpedo, Shuckle, Omastar, and the Pikachu. So, his Z-move users are Hydreigon, Omastar, and Pikachu, and our squad hasn't changed all season. We have Mew, Mega Pinsir, Zeraora, Rotom Wash, Floette Eternal, Skarmory, Druddigon, Breloom, Alolan Persian, and the Drifloon, where our Z-move users are Mew, Alolan Persian, and the Drifloon. So, pretty fun squad, of course, all season. It's been super fun. We've decided to bring Mew, Mega Pinsir, Zeraora, Rotom Wash, Floette Eternal, and the Alolan Persian for this matchup, where we're rocking a Rocky Helmet Mew with Stealth Rock, Psychic, Aura Sphere, and Roost. Of course, Aura Sphere being there to hit things like Steelix, Sharpedo, and Hydreigon. Psychic hits everything else for at least neutral damage, and Aura Sphere hits those three Pokemon for super effective damage. And Roost is for longevity, can come in, take hits, especially from Mega Metacham, have enough defense and HP investment to avoid being 2-hit KO'd by anything in its arsenal, unless he decides to run Mega Kick, in which it's a roll to 2-hit KO me after Stealth Rocks. Next up we have Mega Pinsir, which is a 4 attacks variant. It's very likely that he brings a Zapdos to try to counter my Mega Pinsir. He could also bring a couple different ways to check Pinsir, such as Zapdos, Steelix, and Pikachu, Scarf Hydreigon, Scarf Salazzle, or regular Salazzle, as it does outpace me naturally. And I'm rocking a Jolly Nature so that I can outpace up to Zapdos and at least the Mega Metacham. Don't want to be caught off guard by that. We've got Return for our hardest hitting stab, as well as Close Combat for the the regular Steelix, and Stone Edge for the Zapdos. And then Frustration hits basically everything else for as much damage as Pokemonally possible. And then our last move is going to be Feint. If our opponent has the Aqua Jet on the Sharpedo, or Bullet Punch on the Mega Metacham, anything like that, we can bypass, out-prioritize that would be a better word. Out-prioritize that with our Feint. Next up is a sub 3 attacks Life Orb Zeraora with Plasma Fist, Close Combat, and Fire Punch. Plasma Fist for, spammable electric moves, which is Stab. Close Combat for the Steelix, Fire Punch for the Tangrowth, and then basically everything else is nuked by Plasma Fist. We have a Rotom Wash with Hydro Pump, Volt Switch, Toxic, and Defog. Landing a Toxic on the Tangrowth, it would be fantastic. Obviously, we have Mega Pinsir, but weakening Tangrowth for Zeraora, and just keeping it low, handicapping it, things like that is really nice for us. Is our Defogger, like I mentioned, helps Mega Pinsir out a whole bunch. We don't want to take Stealth Rocks. Next up we have Floette Eternal, which has Moonblast, Hidden Power Ground, Wish, and Protect. So Hidden Power Ground is only there for the Salazzle and the Steelix. Otherwise, pretty free to spam Moonblast. And then Wish Protect for longevity can pass wishes off into Mew, Rotom Wash, and Alolan Persian. Alolan Persian being a defensive variant as well, but having enough speed to outpace things like Mega Metacham and Zapdos. Hydreigon is really nice. I can taunt basically everything on his squad. I will outpace everything except the Salazzle. And I have Parting Shot, Knockoff, and Toxic. Toxic again there to wear down things like Tangrowth, Zapdos, Hydreigon, so on and so forth. But yeah, that's going to be the squad. So I guess we can go ahead and hop into the replay and see what goes on. Alright, so here we are with the replay. And Predator 30, my opponent, chooses to bring the Mega Medicham, Zapdos, Tangrowth, Salazzle, Hydreigon, and the Steelix, where we brought, the team we went over from the team building section with Mew, Mega Pinsir, Zeraora, Rotom Wash, Floette Eternal, and the Alolan Persian. So, immediately I noticed that my opponent only has one Stealth Rocker, and has two Pokemon that takes super effective damage from Stealth Rocks. So, keeping rocks off of my side and on my opponent's side of the field would be fantastic. Of course, his team doesn't really have the greatest Zeraora switch in, as Tangrowth could be weakened throughout the match. Obviously, I have some lures on my team, and the Steelix, I have coverage for that. I have coverage for Tangrowth as well. But being able to chip those down throughout the match and eventually open up holes for Zeraora looks really nice. Mega Pinsir also looks really nice. Just got to beat down that Zapdos or get rocks up and put it in a position to where it can't come in on a frustration plus a Stone Edge. Or if I can get the correct predictions, then I could Stone Edge into Stone Edge on the Zapdos, which would be nice. But yeah, he's got some very, very threatening Pokemon here. Mega Medicham is a huge nuisance. Salazzle could be a Life Orb variant, could be like a sub-toxic variant. Hydreigon could be Scarf Specs, Life Orb, all kinds of different things. And of course, Steelix is going to be his Stealth Rocker. It has to be. He doesn't have anything else on the squad that could be. So, I actually have two potential Stealth Rockers as well, being Mew and Mega Pinsir. So let's see what he leads with here. As he does lead with the Mega Medicham, as we lead with our Rotom Wash, we're going to hard switch into our Mew, not wanting to take any kind of hit from this Mega Medicham. And we come in, comfortably take the Fake Out as our opponent takes the Rocky Helmet damage, and we're able to get our Stealth Rocks up. So now, predicting him to get Stealth Rocks up as well, and we go back into our Rotom Wash, and we're going to, I guess, just have to remove these hazards. But first of all, we're going to make a nice prediction there and catch his Tangrowth upon switching. So that's really nice for Zeraora. And keeping this thing on a timer is really, really nice for Zeraora. So I go into my Alolan Persian as my opponent actually reveals the Sleep Powder, which is really unfortunate for me, and then pulls a switch into his Hydreigon. Obviously, not taking super effective damage from anything a Persian does. I don't think, maybe it gets play rough, I'm not sure. However, I do have Floette Eternal to switch into the Hydreigon pretty comfortably, as my opponent just U-turns out into his Mega Medicham, and I'm forced back into my Mew here as he goes straight for the Fake Out once again. But I'm out of range of anything this thing wants to go for, so what I can do is just roost up here, and with the combination of Rocky Helmet here, I think I just click Psychic here. Oh, no, I roost as he misses a Mega Kick. So I thought a Psychic there, thinking that, Psychic plus the Rough Skin damage would not, or Rocky Helmet damage would knock him out. However, he does pull a switch out into his Steelix here. I do get a little bit of chip on it with the Aura Sphere, and then I go out to my Alolan Persian in case he had the Toxic. I didn't want to be poisoned, and I am able to wake up and get a nice parting shot out into my Rotom Wash. And I don't think he's going to go for the Toxic again, as he doesn't. He goes for the Heavy Slam. It does a nice 5%. I get more back in leftovers than that, and I'll be able to just click Volt Switch again, or I could click Hydro Pump, which is going to be the safer play. I don't have a reason to overpredict at this point, and can Volt Switch the following turn here. And this Tangrowth is extremely chipped down after it takes toxic damage here. It will be below 40%, I believe. Oh, he goes for the Giga Drain. So after Giga Drain plus leftovers recover, he is at half. So that's not too bad for us, as he does reveal the knockoff, and that not only adds up the toxic damage, allows him to take recoil damage, but now he's severely weakened to where the point, he can't take a hit from my Mew. I do get a crit as he goes into Steelix. It's going to be a non-factor. I guess I could have went for Aura Sphere there. However, I do go out to my Rotom Wash here, and he finally lands the poison on me, which is really, really unfortunate for me. However, he goes back into his Tangrowth here, as we're just Volt Switching around, weakening Tangrowth to the point of no return. And at this point, we are 4 attacks Mega Pinsir. We're going to go straight for the frustration here, as Zapdos comes in, takes 25% from Stealth Rocks, and we're going to be able to take another, well, it should have been around 25%, but thanks to the crit, it was 42%. Go for the Stone Edge here, not quite able to knock out the Zapdos. I'm going to go for the second one here, and we get a crit once again, and that would have knocked out with or without the crit, I believe. but thanks to the first crit, he was in range of the second stone edge. So that's really unfortunate for my opponent. However, he does bring in a Stilix here. We are going to just go back out to our Rotom Wash. Eventually, we may be able to blow this thing back with a Hydro Pump. And once we do, Zeraora is free to go ham at this point because everything is in range, and the Tangrowth is very, very, very weakened. And he does pull a switch into that again, just U-turning out there as we go for the Volt Switch of our own. Bring back in our Mega Pinsir here and pretty much net a knockout. Unless he goes hard into the Stilix. But yeah, he doesn't do that. He just stays in with the Tangrowth. And now Zeraora is looking really nice if I can weaken the Stilix. So he goes for the Fake Out once again. However, my Mew does not have the Rocky Helmet anymore. So he's able to get that damage off. Plus, I believe he went for... What did he go for? Just High Jump Kick, maybe? Anyways, he didn't want to miss Mega Kick. And able to finally get rid of her Mew, but down goes the Medicham as well. And now things are getting tough. I do go for the Hidden Power here, and what I should do at this point is continue to just Hidden Power. If I weaken Stilix, I win with Zeraora. But for some reason, I just go out into my Rotom Wash here, hoping that my opponent would just stay in with his Stilix, and I would eventually be able to, you know, just blow it back with a Hydro Pump. I could potentially get a Defog off as well. I do get the Defog off, and now I'm able to bring back in my Mega Pinsir one last time if I'd like to. I'm going to hard switch out into my Alolan Persian as my opponent goes for the Dark Pulse and does quite a bit, thanks to his crit there. Not too big of an issue though. I am going to Parting Shot, which reveals that his Hydreigon is not Scarf. So now he doesn't really have a way to beat my Zeraora, as I will outpace Salazzle and I will outpace Hydreigon. But unfortunately, I'm going to get a little hasty here, expecting my opponent to set up Stealth Rocks once again, and I go for the Close Combat as my opponent clicks the Earthquake. So that was a really low reward, high risk play. I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to 100% take the measures that I need to make sure that I am playing in a Pokegame MD style, where low risk, high rewards are the only playmaking I'm going to be making. Otherwise, I will just play accordingly, attack what's in front of me, and things like that. So, my Zeraora goes down. I still have a chance to win, though. I'm going to go out to my Mega Pinsir here, as my opponent leaves in his Stilix here, no reason to save it at this point, and I'm able to knock it out with the Close Combat. So now my opponent brings in the Salazzle, and he's going to be able to blow through my Rotom Wash here. And unfortunately, Alolan Persian is not going to be able to tank a hit, meaning what I got to do is just stack all of my mons here to the Life Orb, and then hope that Mega Pinsir. See, had I still had Stealth Rocks up, he would be at 50% or so, a little bit less than 50, closer to 40. And I actually have Feint. I don't have Quick Attack, which Feint is weaker, but as you can see, it did do 40. So had I had Stealth Rocks up still, I would have maybe been able to knock out this Salazzle, and of course Hydreigon would have been in range of Mega Pinsir. But none of this would have mattered had I not let Stilix knock out my Zeraora. Had I just hard switch into my Alolan Persian, had I hard switch into my Rotom Wash, I would have taken no damage from the Earthquake and could fire off another Hydro Pump. Had I went into my Alolan Persian, I could just click Parting Shot, weaken it, then go into my Rotom, and then bring in my maybe Mega Pinsir or Floette even. The key would have been, after finding out that Hydreigon wasn't Scarfed and that Scarf Salazzle wasn't as big of an issue, as Scarf Hydreigon could be, then I would have been able to just know that Hydreigon wasn't Scarf, know that he didn't have a Scarfer, and that Zeraora would have been the way to win, and I would not have risked it versus the Stilix. Unfortunately, I was a little bit impatient, and it cost me the game. But yeah, good game to Pred. Unfortunate for the hacks. I hate that it was like that, but it was still a fun game nonetheless, and it didn't... At least the hacks didn't take a win away from Pred, which was nice for me. Anyways, yeah, that's going to be it. So, good game, Pred. Good luck the rest of the season, my man. And that's going to be it. So let me know what you guys thought about the prep and the plays on both sides of the field. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, all the good stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.